which are already available. One is Covishield, one is Covaxin, and apart from that, there is one with J&J, that is Johnson and Johnson in the pipeline, which is the development, which is supposed to be created with nanotechnology. So that should be better. But then that has just got some approvals in the US. So it's not going to really come into India very soon. Uh, then the second thing, of course, is we talked about the differences. One is it's the Covishield is actually a simian virus, which is made in the chimpanzee. It is derived from the chimpanzee. It's an adenovirus, which is similar to the COVID virus, but then it basically provides us protection. Uh, the body will make antibodies, and whenever the COVID tries to attack, then we will be ready. So basically, that virus will prepare our immune system. That's about Covishield, whereas Covaxin is actually a live attenuated vaccine. So what happens with that is it has got the COVID only, but it is actually added with a lot of adjuvants. So when adjuvants are put in, a lot of extra things are there. So there have been issues, there have been controversies that phase 3 trials have not been done. So which is obviously something. There is one of the there will also one of the questions which is there. So as far as that is concerned, yes, Covaxin, they are going to submit their phase 3 results, and as the efficacy which we talked about in a lot of reports, it has been told it's almost as 90 as far as Covishield is concerned, Oxford, AstraZeneca. Then some developments have happened with that also over these 2 weeks, that a lot of countries in Europe have actually said the AstraZeneca might not be very, I mean, whether it's going to be potent or not in people above 65, especially Germany. So the thing is here is, and that is not because it's not potent or not. The reason is the number of older people that it has been tested in the trials is less. So that is the reason, because we need a number in which we can actually say confidently, yes, that this is there. But what I can say from my personal experience, because the first dose of vaccine has been taken by a lot of older adults who are doctors, so they haven't really got a lot of side effects, except some of them have the standard ones which I told you last time, that is fever, then muscle pain, then to an extent also a bit of headache. But it goes off in around 24 hours to 48 hours maximum, and it doesn't continue. And it is also expected with the second dose as well. It can happen with the second dose also. So it's not that it will happen with, it might not happen. Then I reiterated very, very clearly that the vaccine is not a magic bullet. It does not make you untouchable. It basically does not protect you from getting COVID. It basically protects you from fighting it better. You are at a better position to fight it. The reason being, the vaccine will also take time for the antibodies to be built. Like when the antibody levels, if you check maybe after a month after the second dose only, that is when we are actually reaching somewhere. So we are talking about 4 weeks between the vaccine, the two doses, whether it's of Covishield or Covaxin. Then another thing which has come is more and more people are saying maybe even the duration should be increased. So if the duration is increased between the two vaccines also, then there has been seen it might be more potent. Now, another thing that I clearly said, and I want to say it before I end, is nothing changes. You still have to wear your mask. You still have to have the social distancing, and you still have to have hand hygiene. You still have to take care of your diseases. That was something which was never changed, whether it's pre-pandemic, post-pandemic, because when you don't take care of your basic health, you will always be not immune to any disease. Let us not make it only about COVID. And the pandemic is not ended. That is another thing. This is not some kind of you can say a threat, or I will say it's always better to be cautious. Prevention is better than cure always. We need to want to live longer by adapting to the situation rather than thinking no and loosening all our defenses, which is not something we should do. So another thing is a lot of variants have obviously cropped up. It's not that because we have been working day one, so you can't expect the virus to just shut up. So I mean, sorry to use that word, but they have been working very, very hard themselves, so they have mutated. So there is a UK variant, there's a South African variant, and there have been a lot of variants which are making the news. But yes, what has been seen that most vaccines are supposed to cover these variants. Although AstraZeneca has said they are working on another vaccine which might come later this year, which will surely cover the UK variant and the South African variant. Now, what we need to do is the rules are still the same. The rules of the game are still the same. We need to make sure we don't get it. So we have to make sure that we actually take all the precautions. Then one of the questions said, which I could directly just answer: you will not get COVID from taking the vaccine. No, but the point is, if you take the vaccine and then you're exposed to COVID even one day after vaccine and you get the symptoms, it is not because of the vaccine. It is because of the COVID per se. Your immunity is not built up in a day, not spiked up in a day against the COVID. It will not happen that way. It never happens that way. It has to take time. As I said, almost 1 month after the second dose, which you're almost talking about 2 months overall, and then you need to see. So this was in short. Then there is a nasal. Then there is also a nasal vaccine, which might actually be under the pump. I cannot really tell you a lot of details because it's a work in progress. Uh, as I told you, it's different phases. Once we need to see that it's actually successful, then the trials will take place, and when the trials take place, it is brought out in public. So uh, what is positive is good, but then we need to wait for the results. I mean, let me be very frank. And as I told lightly in a lot of older adults, and I told you also, for you the vaccination might come much later and or might come very soon, because the reports that are coming now is as soon as March we might want to start registering the older people. It's not official. I'm only talking about reports. Until it gets official, you can't say, because the first line is only over now. The first dose is over of the healthcare workers, then the second dose is going to start. So simultaneously, do they want to start the senior citizens as well, which is a huge number of population, and they are going to target groups like 50 above. It's not necessarily 65 above, because they are trying to classify it that way. Those are the reports. Again, until unless, that's why I say I don't believe in any kind of rumors, but I'm just telling you this has been told by Mr. Tope, who is the health minister of the state. So I'm just quoting him. So let's see when officially it comes. Then only I can tell you when the registration starts and when you'll actually sort of get it. Uh, if I think start addressing the questions one by one, so that we don't lose time. And then if anybody else wants to ask me questions, you can tell me. Just 1 minute. Yeah. Yeah. So the first one is when, where, and how do we get it? So as I've already told you, please do not go into any online sites. Please do not go into anything as of now. Just keep checking the government sites and the ICMR sites. The reason being, there have been issues wherein people are going to be duped. There have been sites which are saying 4,000 rupees and all. Please don't believe all that. Just wait until unless that there is an official word, because this is, unfortunately, there are miscreants in this also, which exploit a situation like this. So please be very vigilant about it. Then secondly, if you are under blood thinners, no, it is not a contraindication if you are under blood thinners. However, you are going to take a prick, and it's going to be an intramuscular injection. By intramuscular, I mean you actually thicken a muscle here and then you put it in the muscle. So local bleeding can happen. It might happen, it might not happen. But you being on an antiplatelet or blood thinners is not a contraindication per se. Covaxin mentions it, but they haven't really told in detail whether it's a contraindication. But overall, as far as the Oxford AstraZeneca is concerned, and as far as reports, even the national and the NHS, that is the UK, they are very clear that even if you are on antiplatelets, you are not going to be harmed. Only thing is local bleeding can happen. Then after you have one full round of vaccinations, if you want it after a few months, if so, will one experience more side effects? I can't tell you that now, because as of now there are only 2 doses of one vaccine which has been told. So long term wise, whether we need to take more shots, only time will tell. And with lot of variants moving around, that's our only worry as of now, as a word of caution, that we need not drop our guard down. Then something about phase 3 trials. Yes, phase 3 trials, usually testing is done when we actually compare it with another drug. So in case of a vaccine, it usually happens in humans. And that is what usually happens. And those results tell us the efficacy. So this has been proven in animal models. This has been so in humans, that comparative trial is what is phase 3 trials. Now, it's not that they have not done it. Our issue with Covaxin was they have not submitted the reports, which they are going to do. So that is going to tell us more. If a vaccinated person can be a carrier, okay. See, eradication of COVID is never going to happen if you have the vaccine also. As I told you, you're not immune to the disease, you're immune to the power of the disease. So that's why the precautions need to continue. You will not get COVID from the vaccine. Let us be clear, the vaccine will not give you COVID. See, there have been reports that people have got COVID even after getting the vaccination. But let me be frank, it cannot be because of the vaccination, because the vaccination does not give you COVID. That's been very much tested, because one is a sort of a different type of vaccine, and one is a live attenuated vaccine, which will only work on your immune system to build antibodies. So even if you have COVID and you are actually taken the vaccine and your antibodies are built up, it will help in fighting it. The vaccine will not cause. There have been reports, but it is not because of the vaccine. Yeah, as far as side effects are concerned, you will have fever. You might have, I won't say you will, you might have fever, you might have chills, you might have uh, maybe even headache. Blood pressure might shoot up. That is purely because of the body actually taking an entire toll because the vaccine has been taken, or purely stress. I wouldn't say everybody has got a shoot up in blood pressure. So whenever you're going to take the vaccine also, please relax. Take a Just when you have decided to take the vaccine, just relax, take all your medications, and whatever side effects you get, you please address the same by also telling your local practitioner or by me or anybody. Let just make sure that you don't just wait on the fact that no, you have fever, it will be okay. If you have fever and you have doubt that it is because of something else, because fever is a very standard sort of symptom which can happen, might not happen in older people. In general also, is the vaccine safe for people who have low pulse rate? uh, it's not contraindicated, to be very frank, because a lot of people with cardiac diseases are also taking the vaccine, and most cardiac people have got beta blockers, which are drugs which actually reduce your heart rate. So no, it has not been said that. Yeah, I've been asked that we have taken the influenza vaccine 9 months back, so it doesn't matter. Basically, you can take the COVID vaccine whenever it comes, because both are different vaccines. They are not going to interact, or they are not going to hit each other, and it is not going to sort of cause any problems. So this is of course whatever questions you had asked, and there are certain things which I wanted to mention before, if I can take some other questions, because I think some of them might be sort of covered. Is the vaccine safe for patients with heart conditions? Yes, it is. Long term conditions, including the heart conditions, there has been no issues with the Oxford vaccine. It has been used with diabetes. It has been used with people with lung conditions, obesity. Then already told you about the anticoagulants and antiplatelet drugs. Is the vaccine safe with people taking heart medications? Yes, it is. If you're over 65, you're already under the higher priority group. So that is important. Uh, and people who have had atrial fibrillation, which is basically a rhythm problem, who are having diabetes or having heart failure, who are having stroke, they are all actually priority people. So they are all going to be given the vaccine. So it's not that you should not take the vaccine. It's something which will actually help in giving better protection. So yes, if there are any other questions, I can take them. We still have around 10 minutes.
Uh, if anybody would like to ask questions, please unmute yourself, ask your questions as well as, and then mute yourself again.
Yeah, and I would say just keep the questions specific to the vaccine, and not more of a personal thing, because then it will be difficult for me to address it in this particular platform. Yeah.
If anybody has any questions,
Doctor, hello? Hello?
Yes.
yes, ma'am.
Yeah, now if somebody has been a cancer patient, we still have to take the vaccine, right?
Yeah, as far as if it is with a person who's, hello.
Yes.
No, everything
Hello?
just slowed down. Just 1 minute.
Doctor, you're clear here.
No, I think somebody else's.
Hello, Doctor.
Just
Can I
one minute.
ask?
No, I can. Can I just answer that question? Yes. See, I'll answer that question in two ways. One is, of course, if you had a patient of cancer, you could get COVID. So
Yes.
that is basically because you're a vulnerable group. So at the same time, yes, more and more as we are going ahead, we have been seeing that more and more people with cancer have also been advised to take it. Now the absolute contraindication is, as of now, young people, young children, breastfeeding, pregnant, and people who are actually having transplant.
Yeah.
So that is something as of now they are not very clear. So I think that should answer your question. Yeah.
That means we should take it, right, doctor?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Can I ask, Doctor? Can I ask?
Sure, ma'am. Please.
Yeah, I just want to know if your name comes up for registration for the vaccine, and you don't want to take it. Do you have a choice? Maybe you don't want to take it. So the choice is up to you.
Yeah, let me be frank, there is no paternalistic thing as far as vaccination is concerned. All people, I'm not even saying older people, all people who are suitable for the vaccine are actually having autonomy. So they have the choice of whether they need to take the vaccine or not. It is not compulsory.
It's not compulsory.
It is advised. It is advised that you take the vaccine.
Okay.
But it is not said that I mean, it's not like a dictatorship where you have to take it. It's better if you take it, but it's not a dictatorship. Yeah.
Okay.
Doctor, can I ask in which site we have to do the registration?
As far as older adults are concerned, it has not yet come up. When final things come, you will obviously get the knowledge, because they are not. It's only a news item that Mr. Tope, the state health minister, has only mentioned it. So I cannot say. But just wait and watch and see the official sites, please. I am very sure there are a lot of sites who are saying that registration has started, because there have been some hoaxes as well, and I don't really want you to get into all the trouble.
So what is the official site?
See, basically it's the Ministry of Health and Family Welfare. That is one site, and ICMR. These are the two sites where you'll get the news about the vaccine as well. And once you get the news, obviously they will basically connect you to the official website. And the app, of course, is CoWIN. CoWIN is the app. So, but that also, as far as healthcare workers are concerned, we had to give our individual names, not by us, because our hospitals gave it. So then they were registered directly, and then we were called as and when our time came. So see, the process is going to be very robust, because till now the vaccination process has gone very smoothly. So it's not been a difficult process. So don't worry about that. But please just don't fall for any website or anything saying that we are selling COVID vaccine. That's not going to happen. That's not happening yet.
I have downloaded this CoWIN site, but it's not taking.
No, it won't take now, because it has to actually be open to public. As of now, it's only the priority vaccine is only given to the healthcare workers as of now. So we are going to come into that. Not yet. We haven't opened that up yet.
I want to ask a question. Hello?
Yes.
Supposing today I take AstraZeneca and later on a better vaccine comes, can I take that one too, or then I cannot take that?
It has been said as of now that you need to stick to only one vaccine.
Okay.
Anybody has any other questions?
Yeah, doctor. Hello.
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah, which are the categories that should not take the vaccine?
As of now, what has been clearly said is people basically pregnant, then breastfeeding, then children.
Okay.
They are the ones who have been strictly said that they will not be given the vaccine.
Children up to what age?
As of now, I think young children. I'm not quite sure about the age.
Okay.
Because to be very frank, most of my homework is for older adults.
Okay. All right.
But you'll get, I mean, it's available where you can't get it. But the thing is, another thing, if I have to just come on to the cancer one, you have to be, if you're under chemotherapy, then there might be a gap in which you might have to give. That, of course, your oncologist will be the best person to tell you.
No. If the treatment is over,
if the treatment is
I'm
over,
on a Zoom call, I'll call you later.
And what is the duration after which you can take? That also you will have to ask the oncologist. That he's the best person, because chemotherapy and vaccine he or she will be a better person to answer the question.
Yeah, but if the treatment has been more, I mean, I've completed the treatment. It's been 1.5 years.
Yeah. Then you can take.
Then I can take. Okay, doctor. Thank you.
Yeah.
Hello, doctor. May I ask you a question?
Yes,
Hello?
ma'am, please.
Yeah, doctor, now I need to do some urgent dental extractions which are pending now for the last over a year, and they're giving me trouble. So now even I can't wait for the vaccine, because I thought of going in for the dental extraction in April when the series is out. So till then, what do I do? Because I've got to extract dental issues.
Ma'am, it will be a difficult question for me to answer without knowing what the dental condition is. And of course, the dentist will be a better person to answer. But if it's the vaccine related and it's an urgency, then dentists have already started operating. So you need to go. You need to go with the usual precautions.
Okay.
And try to get it done. That's the best.
Yeah. I went in the month of October when I was getting shooting pain, and only because of the pandemic, I have really postponed it. And I thought maybe in the month of April, by then things will subside. I'll build up my immunity and all that.
Yeah, so and then I'll say, if you can tolerate it till then good enough. If you can't, then you should go ahead.
Side. Then, I landed up with Bell's palsy and all that, so I didn't know what it was. One side, my face is going down and all,
so
and chewing.
I would advise you, if it all depends on urgency. If it is urgent, then people are doing it already, dentist. So you should take it.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you, doctor. Thank you. I'll take the necessary precaution. But how do I build up my?
I think I've already addressed it. Building up immunity before. I mean, it's very simple. Eat healthy food, sleep well, and wait for the vaccine. Vaccine is another way of it, but please don't think when you're going to get it. Let it come. I mean, there is no use using your sleepless nights and thinking when the vaccine will come. So just let it come when it comes. As simple as. Yeah.
Thank you very much, doctor. I think we've run out of time. This has been very, very useful. Everybody, this session will also be uploaded on our website. In case anybody wants to take one-on-one consultation with Dr. Prem, please contact us at Sare Social. We'll forward you his number. You can take an appointment and actually consult with him. Having said that, thank you very much. See you guys on Monday. And thank you very much, Dr. Prem, for this talk. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you.
Thank you, doctor.